Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Eldercare's weekly webinar training. I'm Adrienne.
I'm Lisa.
And we are super excited about today's training. I know that we've had these guys on before, but we feel like it is definitely a topic that we need to keep doing and keep educating you on because it is something very different in the Medicare supplement area. So anything else I'm forgetting before intro?
No, I don't think so.
No? Well, we want to keep this a conversation as always. So find the Q&A box. I believe it's a little question mark box on your end if you're on Zoom. That's the only way that you can chat with us. The actual chat is disabled. So find that Q&A box. If you're on Facebook Live, find the comment box. That one's pretty easy. And then just to kick things off, let me see who's all on here. I do see some people jumping on. So we got Bill, Brian, Carol, Chris, Corey. I think Corey has a birthday coming up. Jeff, Monica, good morning, guys. Shirley, multiple Shirleys, good morning. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. If you will, go ahead and type in the state that you're in. I know most of your states, but just so our special guests kind of know who they're talking to, go ahead and put in the Q&A what states you're in, because we definitely want to be talking specifically to those attending live with us. Carol, we got Texas, and I know sometimes there's a delay. Virginia,
Oklahoma,
another Texas. Chris is already talking about premium.
Mississippi.
We got is it Daija? Am I saying it right? Wrong? I don't know. In Florida. Thank you so much for joining us. Georgia, awesome. You got agents from all over, guys. So without further ado, I would love to introduce our special guests. So we have Mike Story and Robert Davis with Physicians Mutual, or I like to shortcut and do PMIC. That's my lingo. So if you ever see me doing that, that's what that means. It is Physicians Mutual. So thank you guys so much for being here with us this morning.
Thank you for having us. It's a great pleasure to be able to present to your group.
Yes, absolutely. We have definitely a wide range of agents. I know that we have some new ones on here. I can see their names on here. So I don't think some of these agents have even written their first MedSup app at all. And then we have some on here that have been writing it a long time. So you have a wide range of agents that you're speaking to.
Great. That's the way we like it. The more the merrier. How about that?
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves. I don't know who's going first, Mike or Robert.
Yeah, let me kick it off. I'll introduce Mike, and he's going to really lead the show today. So I know I've been on this webinar before. My name is Robert Davis. I'm an account manager that specializes in the relationship with Eldercare, and it's been a great relationship. I was out in Hot Springs earlier this year, and what I'm really excited about, I love doing training, but really the godfather of Physicians Mutual is Mike Story. He was the person that really started a lot of the different innovative special benefits that we have at Physicians Mutual came from Mike. Mike just recently became the national trainer. And so when that happened, one of the first things I did was I reached out to Adrienne. I was like, we got to get Mike on one of these calls. So excited to be on today. I'm going to let Mike run the show. But Mike, let's get started.
Well, hey, thank you for that great introduction. Thank you, Adrienne, Robert, everybody. I appreciate it. I will get flying here as we go into the Physicians Mutual Medicare Supplement portfolio. And a couple of things that I just really would like to share with you here in the beginning, hopefully everybody can see this, is that the Physicians Mutual Medicare Supplement portfolio, we just don't offer Plan G. That's just not what we do. We've been around, we've been selling Medicare since Medicare started, and it's something that we pride ourselves on as being innovators at Physicians Mutual. So some of the competitive advantages that we have at Physicians Mutual with our Medicare Supplement portfolio is that with our Medicare supplements, we offer preventative care benefits. What does that mean? That means that we cover 100% of all preventative services not covered by Medicare. And we also cover them more frequently than what Medicare does. I'll give you a quick example. The very first one on about page 31 of the Medicare and You booklet, which all of your members are getting, is that talks about the abdominal aortic aneurysm screening. Medicare will only pay for that if you're 65 to 75, you're a male, and you've smoked at least 100 cigarettes in your lifetime. If you meet that criteria, Medicare will pay for that screening. But most guys probably don't meet that criteria. I've never smoked in my life. So how would I get that paid? Well, if you had a Physicians Mutual Medicare supplement, we could pay that because Medicare's not. I don't meet that criteria. We also have the Silver and Fit gym membership. And I always tell people it's more than just paying for gym memberships. You can buy, you can have there's other programs. There's coaching, there's one-on-one coaching. There is, you can buy, or you get free each year. You could get a yoga mat. You can get weights. You can get bands. You could get one of those watches, a Fitbit, and all that stuff with that. And usually what happens is that is a rider that you can add to our Medicare supplement plans for $9.53 in most states, okay? Also, too, we have what we call the 2-year selection guarantee. So we give people peace of mind, because what happens is most of the time when people buy Medicare products, they're scared. They don't know what they don't know, right? And sometimes we at Physicians Mutual, we'll give them 2 years to think about the decision they made. So usually with our portfolio, you will see we have 4 different plans available. We usually, in most states, we sell the high deductible G. We'll sell our patented innovative G, and I'm going to cover that in detail here in a few minutes. We sell regular plan G, and we sell plan F. Now, those preventative care benefits and the Silver and Fit gym membership, that's a rider that you can add to any one of those plans. But no matter which one of those plans you buy initially, we give you 2 years to think about what you bought. You can switch to any other plan that you're eligible for. Within the first 2 years, no underwriting, no nothing. Our customers love that. I'm going to talk about the patented Medicare supplement, the innovative G. But I just have a couple disclosures here. That's not available in California, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, and Missouri. We're always working on those things, but it's a unique patented med sup plan, kind of with the disappearing deductible, offering broader options and a cheaper plan G that's more affordable for seniors down the road. Also, too, with our plans, we have 65 to 68 same age banding. What does that mean for you and your customers is this: whether you're 65, 66, 67, or 68 years old, we will give your customer age 65 rates, okay? That's age 65 rates. So if you have a 68-year-old that's with XYZ company, the rates are going higher than the sky. Guess what? If you bring them to Physicians Mutual, we'll give them the same rate as somebody turning 65. So we're going to turn back the clock, and they will go through what we call limited underwriting. Basically, we're asking only 4 or 5 questions versus full-blown underwriting like all the other carriers have after 65 and a half. We do not start full-blown underwriting until age 69. So people think, God, Mike, you're very competitive at 65. Look how competitive we will be at 66, 67, and 68. Because if you're out there on CSG or whatever quoting engine you're using, if you're quoting an age 65, a 68-year-old, you got to use 65-year-old rates with us versus the competitor, you have to use their 68 rate. So it's going to make us extremely competitive on that. We allow in most states that you can write Medicare supplements 7 months in advance. So even though they don't have their Medicare number and all that stuff, it's fine. You can write the meds up 7 months in advance and lock in their premiums. And also, too, in most states, we offer a 10% household discount that's subtracted off of the smoker rate. So what happens is if you have a non-smoker rate of 120 and a smoker rate of 150, we take the 10% off the smoker rate off the 150. That's about $15, and then you subtract it from the 120 for a net rate of 105. So that's something that's very, very competitive out there. And it is not a multi-insured discount. If you're married, you get the discount, 10%. Also, too, if you live or have a roommate or something that's 60 years old or older, we will also give you the 10% discount if you're not married. So it is not a multi-insured like most of them are out there. Also, too, what I would like to share with you is our 4 Medicare supplement plans that we have in most states. I've said some of the states that we don't, but here is what we have in most states, okay? So we sell the high deductible G, we sell the innovative G, the plan G, and the plan F. And we know that only certain people are eligible for plan F. Let's jump over to, we know with plan G, you have the Part B deductible of $257, and then basically the supplements taking care of the rest. But let's jump over to the high deductible. And I'd like to just go through this real quick so people truly understand how the high deductible works. You have to understand is most people, about 75 to 80% of all people that are working today for an employer, that are on employer group plans, have a high deductible health plan at work. And when we talk about high deductible health plans, that's not the same as the high deductible G. If you're working for an employer and you have a $5,000 deductible, you're paying the first $5,000 before the insurance company pays anything. That's not the case with the high deductible G. Here's how it works. You have a Part A deductible of $1,676, and we know that's for the first 60 days, right? And it's per benefit period. So you could have the Part A deductible multiple times in a year, but you're going to see why you wouldn't. So if you end up in the hospital as an inpatient, you're going to pay $1,676. That is a true deductible. And then Medicare is basically going to take over. You also have a true deductible in the Part B deductible. That's $257. After you pay your Part B deductible of $257, we know that Medicare is going to pay 80% coinsurance, and you're going to pay the other 20% of the Medicare approved amount. Okay? So then you're going to get into coinsurance. But also, too, you have a max out of pocket of $2,870. Even though CMS calls it a $2,870 deductible, if you just have outpatient services, the only deductible you're paying is the $257. And then it's going into coinsurance. So you're not paying the full $2,870 up front like you do with your group insurance plans. Okay, I wanted to make sure that everybody understood that distinction. Also, too, if you ever ended up as an inpatient in a hospital and had to pay the $1,676, it goes towards your $2,870. The $257 Part B deductible goes towards the $2,870, and so does your 20% of the Medicare approved amount. And then if you ever hit $2,870 max out of pocket, then naturally you have 100% coverage the rest of the year. Okay, so that's how the high deductible G works. I wanted to clear that for everybody. Now, what we're going to talk about is the patented innovative G that Physicians Mutual had. We went to AHIP, we went to CMS, we went to everybody before we did this patent back in, I think it was 2008. The innovative G is a hybrid product between the high deductible and the regular G. And so the way I like to explain this is this. The innovative G is nothing more than a regular plan G, but what we have patented is this innovative rider that we add to the plan G. So we add this patented rider to a plan G, and we call it the innovative G. Here's how it works. Let me get rid of this drawing here. Here's how it works. It will act like a high deductible plan. The customer will have these plan benefits the first 2+ years. So for example, if you have somebody that's going to have an effective date of, let's say, September 1 this year, here's what happens. Here's how their high deductible works. September through December of this year, they are going to have the high deductible G as their plan benefits for the rest of this year. So they are subject to the $1,676, the $257, the 20% coinsurance, and the $2,870 max out of pocket. And then next year, January through December of 26, they will have the high deductible G again as their plan benefits. Now, we know that CMS is probably going to raise the Part A deductible, the Part B, and the max out of pocket. They do that each and every year and usually do it according to the CPI index, okay? So it isn't going up a lot. And then the third year, the third and final year, January through December of 27, they will have the high deductible one last year. Starting on January 1st of 2028, the customer no longer has the high deductible and it transitions to a regular plan G the rest of their life. They no longer have the high deductible as their plan benefits. They will have the regular G the rest of their life at about a 25 to 35% savings over other plan Gs out there. Okay, so any questions popping up, shoot them at me. I can help you with that. I'll go through two more examples real quick. If your effective date is in December of this year, that means you're going to have the high deductible for just December and then 2 full years. So most of the time, this first year on the innovative is going to be a partial year, except for January. Then you would have the high deductible for 3 full years. In this example, you would have the high deductible for 2 years and 1 month. Okay, so let me just say this. If somebody had an effective date back on January 1st of 2025, they would have had this high deductible for 3 full years. So I always say 2.1. What I mean by that is if your effective date's in December, then you have 2 years and 1 month of the high deductible. Then it transitions to the plan G. Are there some questions out there?
Yeah, we do have a few coming over. A lot are the state availability, where it's available, since we do have people from all over, and then questions about premium and increases and how that works.
Okay, great. So let's do that. Let me get rid of this, and we're going to go into the premiums because that's what everybody's waiting for. And naturally, all the premiums and everything are different by state. But this is a actual state that has an innovative G premium and a plan G premium. So let's say somebody started at age 65. Here's what I like to do. Let's say Sally, she's turning 65 and she likes the innovative G. The broker's now gone over everything. She goes, I can afford that innovative G. I might have some HSA dollars. The $28.70 max out of pocket's not a big deal. I've had a $5,000 deductible at work for the last 5 years. $28.70 max out of pocket's not a big deal. But Sally has a twin sister, and her twin sister's name is Mary. And Mary's not like Sally. Mary says, you know, I just want plan G. I know I'm going to pay the plan G deductible. I don't have to worry about anything. So I'm going to make it easy on myself. I'm going to buy the plan G. So Sally's buying the innovative and Mary's buying the G. And what I did is, just for an example, I'm saying that medical inflation is going up 10%. So the rate increases were 10% on these plans for the next 15 years. I know that's not going to be the case, but just as a hypothetical. So Sally starts off at $100 a month for innovative, and Mary's got a plan G of $135. So Sally saved $420 in premiums this first year, but she's also subject to the $28.70 max out of pocket and the Part A and Part B deductible, right? And then next year at age 66, their premiums go up 10%. Sally's now at 110 and Mary's now at 148.50. At age 67, Sally is now up to 121 and Mary's at 163.35. But remember, this 67, this is the last year that Sally's going to have the high deductible. Starting at age 68, January 1st to 68, Sally, Innovative G, now becomes a regular G. Her and her sister both have a regular G at age 68, and Sally is paying $133 for her plan G. Her sister Mary is all the way up to $179.69. So if you think about this, all of a sudden at age 68, both sisters have plan G, and one of them is paying $46 a month more than her sister with the same identical plan. Let's just jump it up to age 72. At age 72, that means we've had a 10% rate increase each year. At age 72, Sally has her plan G at $194. Her sister Mary is all the way up to $263. And so far, just in the last 7 years, Sally, who bought the Innovative in the beginning, has saved over $4,800 in premiums. So with that premium savings, she can add it towards if she ever had to pay that max out of pocket or had any claims out of pocket. Okay, let's go to 75, 10 years later. You have Sally is now paying $259 for her G. Her sister is now up to $350, almost $100 a month. And then what I did is, just to show you for an example, go out to life expectancy at age 80. Sally would be paying $417 for her G. Mary would be all the way up to $563. So just in this hypothetical example, Sally, by taking on the max out of pocket that first 2.1 to 3 years, will save over $15,100 over that period of time. If we look at that. So look at that. It's a huge savings for that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So if you think about it, yeah, it's $15,100. Even if you'd hit the max out of pocket all 3 years, that would be what, about $84.10 or something like that, $86.10 or something like that. You'd still be up almost $7,000 if that was the case. So this is the value play for all of you. This is what's going to keep your business on the books. Physicians Mutual has done some research, and this Innovative Plan G over a 9-year period has a 98% persistency rating. So 98 out of 100 policies that were sold 9 years ago are still on the books. And most of the time, the 2% are people that have passed away. Why? Because think about this. If you're going out there as a broker and you've run into somebody that's 73 years old and you're quoting them a plan G, well, the plan they have with Physicians Mutual is only $214. And I'll bet you all the other competitors are $260, $270, $280, $290 for that same person. It just doesn't get replaced. And why that's important for you, it keeps your renewals going. Since we pay lifetime renewals, we don't just stop after 6 years. That's the important thing about the Innovative. And it's exclusive to Physicians Mutual. One thing that I will share with you, and you're thinking, okay, Mike, this looks pretty good. Let me share one other something with you here. Let's see where it is here. Oh, real quick. Some of you asked about the where is this located? Here's a product map that we have in our portal under the sales and marketing area. And you can see, so this Innovative is actually in Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, South Dakota, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania right now. And we're working on Maryland and Michigan, right, Robert? I think that's what it is. We're working on those right now, and then some others. There's also another one that I would like to share with you is this. Go ahead, Adriana.
I was gonna say, how were you able to see that? Was it the black,
Yeah,
like
the
tic
black,
tac?
the black tic tac. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
Okay.
show it, like in Utah, I think it was red, but it'll say innovative G.
Okay.
And then also too, people will say, well, Mike, that's all great, but let's look at what happens here. So when it comes to the innovative G, when I talked about Physicians Mutual doing some past research since 2008, here's what we found. The average out-of-pocket cost for a person that buys the innovative G, the average out-of-pocket was about $518 a year, $1,553 over a 3-year period. Okay, so let's look at this. The percentage of our customers who did meet the plan's max out-of-pocket during that first year. Well, what we see is about 44.3% of our customers hit the max out-of-pocket. That means about 96 out of 100 customers never ever hit the max out-of-pocket in the first year. And then in years 2 or years 3, those are the full years, correct? Usually that first year is a partial year, except for if your effective date's in January. In year 2 or year 3, only 10% of our customers hit the max out-of-pocket. About 90% of them never hit the max out-of-pocket. So that's about 9 out of every 10 customers will never ever hit the max out-of-pocket. And then any of the 3 years, only 20% hit the max out-of-pocket. That means 80% never did. That means 80 out of 100 people that buy the innovative G never hit their max out-of-pocket in any of those 3 years. So you don't have to worry about that. But I know some of us, we always worry about the 1 or 2 people out of 100 that are going to hit the max out-of-pocket. What about all the people that never hit the max out-of-pocket? And most of the time, I've been at Physicians Mutual now almost 32 years. Here's what I hear when I'm in the field all the time. Mike, my plan G has gotten so expensive. I'm in my 70s. My plan G is so expensive now. Do you have any other alternative? I just can't afford it. And what really makes me mad, Mike, I've been with you guys for so long, or whoever the carrier is, and I've hardly ever used my Med Sup plan, and it's just gone up every year, and it's just getting too expensive. How many of you out there have heard that from your customers? We hear it all the time. This innovative G is probably the least expensive G in the marketplace over the long term. It's the value play that we have at Physicians Mutual for all of your customers that no other carrier has today. Questions for me that I can maybe help answer?
Yeah, there's a few questions coming through, but like I was just thinking, as you keep saying the word max out of pocket, and I can't help but think, about Medicare Advantage plans, max out of pockets. And so I feel like that is still a lot lower max out of pocket compared to some of the Medicare Advantage plans out there.
It is. And, thank you for saying that, is that you think about it, 2870 versus, most of them, not all, but most of them are 6,700 all the way up, to 14,300 is the max now. I mean, this is crazy. And if you really think about it, if you're going to hit this max out of pocket, can you imagine what you're going to have out of pocket if you have an MA plan? That's crazy. And you don't have the network restrictions. You don't have all the prior authorizations, the claim denials. You don't have any of that stuff that you have to deal with. And if you only have Part B claims Part B claims, you're never going to even come close to the 2870 max out of pocket, because you're only paying 20% of the Medicare approved amount. And I don't know how many of you ever do this, but if you ever go to Medicare.gov, there's a section in Medicare.gov called the procedure lookup tool. And we did this other day on a live training in, I'm not going to do it today, but if you go in there and look and just do, hey, put in an MRI of the lower lumbar in your back with contrast. Do you know that 20% of the Medicare approved amount for that MRI is only $41? And that's just if you had Part B. That's what your 20% co-insurance would be. It'd only be $41, but I'll bet you if you had an MA plan, it's probably going to be close to $300 or more out of your pocket for that. So you need to go in. This is why this innovative G is so popular, and it's catching on like wildfire throughout the brokerage industry.
And I think that kind of has to do with Michael's question. So he's in Georgia. He was asking, you mentioned lifetime renewals. Is that on all plans, or is that only on the innovative G?
That is on all the plans. And I mentioned those preventative benefits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for example, let's say that we would pay for such things as like full-blown physicals, not the welcome to Medicare visit. I've seen where we paid for physicals, lifeline screenings, thermography exams, the Cologuard test, full body DEXA scans, all these preventative tests that Medicare doesn't cover. Physicians Mutual could possibly cover that. I always tell people is, let's say that you went in and had a colonoscopy, and you've always been clear, everything's been good, but Medicare will only pay for a colonoscopy once every 10 years. Well, as us guys, especially us guys, get older, our doctors wanted to have us do colonoscopies more than once every 10 years. So maybe we're going to have it every 5. Well, that's an example where, hey, if everything's been clean, we've been healthy, Physicians Mutual would pay for that because we could pay for preventative services more frequently than what Medicare allows. So all of those preventative benefits plus the Silver and Fit gym membership, you can add that rider to any of these plans. And I will even say, like in the state of Texas, you know, there's some different state variations, and me and Robert can help you with those things. But like the Innovative G and the regular Plan G in the state of Texas, the preventative benefits and the Silver and Fit gym membership are embedded in the Innovative G and the Plan G. It's not a rider, it's included in it.
What states was that? Texas and
that was Texas, and I don't know if there's any other states like that.
Wisconsin, Texas and Wisconsin, they're built in.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. We have a lot of agents in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a hot selling product, I will tell you, in the state of Texas right now.
And we do have some questions from Chris. He's in Virginia. He had said that and you had said it on the availability map that it was there, but he said that it was put on hold right now. Does that sound
It has
right?
been put on hold. We're hoping to get there soon.
Yeah. So
Okay,
it was approved 2 months ago, which Virginia, the Department of Insurance, we took a long time to get it approved. Once we rolled it out, what their problem is some of the lingo, that rider, the Preventive Benefits Plus rider, after we got it approved and we rolled it out, the Department of Insurance was like, we need you to tweak the name. So right now it's on hold. I work with a lot of agents out of Virginia, and I probably ask every single day about that because it will be any day. I just don't know what day, right? So as soon as I do, we'll be mass emailing that out. Like it goes back live. But good question.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. And he was asking for some quotes and stuff too. And anyone that's on here, we're going to follow up with you after this training. We can provide you the rates, commission levels, everything that you'll need. Lisa will make sure that you get that. And we do have a few other questions. Donnie had asked, is the Innovative G available to any age person? I assume full underwriting after age 70.
So what happens is it's available to any age person, ages 65 through 68. You have limited underwriting after 65 and a half through 68, starting at 69 and above, then you go through full-blown underwriting.
But they can still get the Innovative G.
They can be 80 years old and buy the Innovative. They can be any age. And we have a lot of people in their 70s that buy the Innovative that they like that idea.
And I think you had answered this question, or maybe you mentioned it at the beginning. Jeff had asked if the riders are an additional cost, which they are.
Usually in most states, they're $9.53. And remember the preventative services, which I have up on the screen, plus the Silver and Fit gym membership. Both of those are one rider. In most states, it's $9.53. And it's an at-issue rider. It's not something that you can add down the road. You got to do it when you sell the product. You can always take the rider off down the road, but you cannot add it.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know. And then someone had asked about the 10% rate increase, and I just want to put the plug that that was just a hypothetical for an
Yes.
example. Rate increases vary every year, but do you
Yeah.
know?
So a couple things on rate increases because it's a hot topic right now. I'm sure everyone on the call has heard of states like companies like Mutual of Omaha with a 40% in many states, Aetna around 35%. We will not have a rate increase, and all the rate increases we were going to do have already taken place. When other companies have been in the 30s, part of the reason why Mike uses that example of 10, that's about where we were this year. So here's the thing: when everyone else is 30 to 40 and we're 10, things are going to go down over the next year and a half. I don't think we're going to continue to see these massive rate increases. But the fact that we're at 10 right now, there are years that Mike knows that we took a 4% rate increase. 2 years ago, we took a 0% rate increase in Texas. Same thing in Arizona. We believe that the innovative G, here's the thing, rate increases have to do with loss ratios. And the innovative G, our loss ratio on that product is usually anywhere between 30 to about 45%. We're all about the long-term play for clients, and we want to be there for them long-term. We have two things going for us. We're a legacy company. We didn't start yesterday. We're not an all-state that's going to fall off. We're also a legacy company that's not going to every single year open a new block and jack your clients' rates up. So I'm sorry if I threw out names of different companies here, but it's just what's in the market right now.
Yeah, I think too. Yeah, and I'll throw this little plug out there too. Is I've been around for 32 years, and whether it's been sales director, product manager, national sales training director, whatever it may be, here's what I can say about Physicians Mutual. They treat the customer right. It's about the long-term value of the product that we have. Well, like you said, you've seen rate increases out there. I think this last year in January, when we took almost most of the states' increases, it was anywhere from about 8% all the way up to 14.5% is what I saw. That's depending upon what states. Now, also too, one thing, the plug that I will put in, this is for Medicarians. When we were at Medicarians this year, and one of the things I always do as being the national sales training director is go to the classes. I love the classes. And what we're seeing, Robert mentioned some rate increases of some other XYZ carriers, right? So here's what we're seeing. Number one is, that post-COVID stuff. People weren't going to the doctor. They postponed things like that. So a lot of those conditions have now worsened. And all of a sudden now they're going, these claims are more frequently. Utilization is going way up. We cannot deny that. And number two is the severity of some of these claims has gone way up. So they're becoming more expensive. And then the second part of that is what everybody needs to know is what is happening to people turning 65. With most carriers, the loss ratios at 65 are going way up. Why? Is because people that are on group insurance through their employer today, those deductibles are skyrocketing. People are having $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 deductibles at work. Some of the employers are giving them HSA dollars and things like that to try and help offset that. But those deductibles are so high, what people are doing is they're not going to have their procedures done, whether it's a knee replacement, hip replacement, back surgery, shoulder surgery, whatever it is, they're holding off until they get onto Medicare. A lot of them go to buy Plan G, so they only have to pay $257 out of their pocket versus a $5,000 or $10,000 deductible. So those are some of the things that we're seeing in the industry today is what's causing some of these higher rate increases normally. And we're probably going to see that for the next year or two, according to some of the people on the panels at Medicarians. Then hopefully it'll start leveling off again. But you will see about 31, 32% of our portfolio is innovative G. And there's a little bit is high deductible. We have a little bit of F, and then the rest is G. So you can see people that are buying that innovative, a lot of times we're not paying out a lot of the claims in the first 2 to 3 years, right? Because they're paying the Part A deductible, the Part B deductible, and 20%. And you've seen, I showed you that not many of those people are hitting the max out of pocket at all.
Right.
So we aren't paying anything until they hit that max out of pocket. So that really helps bring maybe some of our loss ratios aggregately down compared to all the other carriers that only have plan G. So that kind of hurts. And a lot of them are now going to N. Well, when they go to N, they're going to start selling N cheap is what's going to happen. We're seeing it already. And then everybody's going to go to that. And the same thing's going to happen over the next 1 or 2 years. The claims are still going to go up, just like whether it's G or whatever plan it is. So just kind of keep that in mind. And I always tell people is that at Physicians Mutual, whether it's the high deductible, whether it's the innovative, whether it's the regular G or the F, we lump all of those together. Okay. Each of the products don't stand on their own because like the innovative, we're not paying a whole lot, especially in the first, 2 to 3 years. I've even seen where Physicians Mutual had to refund premiums in certain states because we didn't hit the loss ratio numbers because we're not paying a lot in that first 2.1 to 3 years. So that is the value play. If you're really concerned about your customer and the long-term value, keeping rates down, keeping them sustainable for their budget, Physicians Mutual will be the play and it will be the innovative. That's what's happening in the world today. It's probably the least expensive plan G for the long term. And you will see that people get in their 70s and 80s will be about 25 to 35 to 40% less than any other G out there is because they took on that max out of pocket up to 3 years.
That's a great way to put it. And I have tons of light bulb moments happening for me. And I appreciate you. I appreciate Robert for bringing you on because that was a different way of putting it. So it just helps us kind of understand everything better. We do have a few more questions coming through, but I believe these are ones that we've already talked about. And so we'll just follow up with everyone after and get your questions answered. I do want to ask one question selfishly. Do you have marketing materials for agents to use?
Oh, absolutely. And anything, and if I've showed something here that they want, they're more than welcome to email me is usually the best way to do it.
Yeah, I want the comparison PDF already.
Yeah, so the easiest way to get to me is this, Mike.story, just like the book, at Physicians.
Got to spell it out.
Physicians, yeah, a lot of people forget that S, physiciansmutual.com. And also too, people think I'm crazy, but I help a lot of people. I've been doing this for 37 years, 32 at Physicians Mutual. Here is my cell number. If somebody wants to call me, they're more than welcome to call me, visit with me. They can text me and just say, hey, I was on the Eldercare webinar with you. Hey, just let me know who you are. I'll help you any way I can. That is something that I've loved and I've done a lot of my life is to develop top-notch agents. So feel free to reach out to me.
Yeah, I know that we appreciate the relationship with you guys. And I know I like to stress the importance for agents to have the relationship with you as well. Together, we're all here for you to help you be successful and help your client. And I think, Lisa, if you're not contracted already.
Oh, yes. For those on the call, we'll be calling you after this webinar. If you're not contracted, we'll certainly get you fixed up, look at your state, what's available, and get you everything you need.
Yeah. And then we'll even talk about some of the LEAD programs that we offer because this product does qualify for our LEAD programs. So we'll talk about how you can get free marketing selling this product.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we went over a little bit, but just want to stress how grateful we are for all of you taking the time to be with us live this morning. And watch out for the recording. I know some of you are asking you to go back to slides. So this will be in our YouTube so you can easily go back and listen to it. And thank you, Mike and Robert, for taking the time to talk to our brokers. We appreciate you guys.
Thank
you for having us.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, thanks. Bye, everyone.